What's good? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Byte for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. Let's start off with Amazon's newest smart speaker, the Echo Show. And don't worry, for those of you thinking, hey, this is an Apple show, because it will all tie back to Apple. Now, the Echo Show was announced this week, and it's an Echo device with a touchscreen and video camera that can be used for video conferencing or a home intercom system at $230. Now, in an interview by Gadgets 360 with Apple's Phil Schiller just a few days before the Echo Show's release, he was specifically asked about Amazon's Echo and Google's Home. Schiller replied, "My mother used to have a saying that if you don't have something nice to say, say nothing at all." Seriously, Phil? As the VP of one of tech's biggest companies, that was your response? You ever wonder why people think Apple is a cocky company that's full of themselves and why we bring them down to earth with those bad apples? It's exactly because of this. The smart speaker just happens to be one of the most exciting categories in the consumer tech space that you have nothing to offer 2 years later, with rumors claiming Apple's actually working on a Siri speaker of their own. Schiller, in fact, pushed for voice assistants to have a screen, saying, "There's many moments when a voice assistant is really beneficial, but that doesn't mean you'd never want a screen. So the idea of not having a screen, I don't think suits many situations." Well, Phil, they just brought a screen thanks to your wisdom and insight. Now, I'm really curious how much better a Siri speaker will actually be from Apple. They have the ecosystem hooks, that'll be great. But the first thing they need to do is make a smarter Siri, because you're behind Google, Amazon, and Microsoft's Cortana when it comes to voice assistants. Now, in other Apple and Amazon news, it feels like an eternity, but a report from Recode says Apple and Amazon are close to an agreement for the Amazon Prime Video app to finally be on Apple TV. The report says Amazon employees are expecting the app to be available on the Apple TV in the third quarter of this year, and the catalyst was a meeting between CEOs Tim Cook and Jeff Bezos. And that deserves a good Apple. Yeah! Finally. Now, we know Apple continues to tout its focus on health and wellness with the iPhone and Apple Watch. It looks like they're adding another piece of that puzzle after Byte, an iPhone connected sleep monitoring system, announced they have been acquired by the Big A. Now, Byte is a thin, flexible sensor that's placed under the sheet and on top of a mattress. It collects and analyzes sleep-related data like your heart rate, respiration, movement, and sleep time. But you know, my readings keep showing a lot of late-night vigorous activity, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah? Yeah, it's actually not happening. Now, all the collected data can be viewed through the Byte iPhone app, and it looks like Apple is still planning to sell it in their stores, and it could be utilized in the future with the Apple Watch. All right, the iPhone is doing just fine according to Strategy Analytics. New data shows the iPhone 7 was the top-selling smartphone in the first quarter of 2017, even if it had a drop in year-over-year sales. Now, you can see the breakdown. iPhone 7 sold 21.5 million units, while the 7 Plus sold 17.4. But the surprise, the Oppo R9 slid into the third spot, but you won't see the Galaxy S8 here, which didn't launch until this quarter. All right, y'all ready for iPhone 8 news? You know you love it, but it can also be redundant with the same stories over and over. You've seen a lot of these, but new renders of the iPhone 8 from OnLeaks and Gear India show off the best look at the new iPhone based on the latest schematics. I'd like to take a moment and really thank Tim Cook for doubling down on secrecy. You'll still see the vertical camera. The Touch ID sensor on the rear is up for debate, but if you look carefully, there's a new detail included on the front panel where the cameras and sensors are located that has been circulated. Now, it's not a straight line at the top, and designer Benjamin Geskin makes it more clear how it will look like based on the current rumors, where the camera and sensors on the front will stick out when the phone is in its lock screen, but the OLED screen will create a black bar when the phone is in use. Now, it's a little surprising to me if this is really what happens, because that just isn't the clean Apple lines we're used to seeing, and I'm actually hoping they just keep the top edge as a black bar entirely, but we'll see. And a few more quick iPhone 8 rumors. JP Morgan reports the new iPhone will get an enhanced receiver with further improvements to the waterproofing and stereo sound quality for the phone. Let's just get this phone up to an IP68 rating for dust and water, you know, so it's in line with other phones that still have the headphone jack and an IP68 rating. And this one has been a popular one. KGI reports that iPhone production ramp-up will be delayed as late as October or November, missing its normal September timeline due to production difficulties, which gives us an extra month or so to talk about another extra month of rumored delays. Now, Apple still has a big chunk of time to show us the new MacBooks, new Macs in general, iPads, Apple Watch, and more, so there is plenty of stuff they can throw at us until then. All right, that's going to do it for this week. You can email us at theapplebyte@cnet.com or tweet me at Brian Tong. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you all next time for another Bite of the Apple.